Hey YouTube, so I am back with my Silverado. I recently have been painting my wheels. They're a little dirty, but they're looking pretty good. I still have to finish the other three. And I did get a new bumper with the fog lights and the valance on the bottom, so I'm pretty happy about that. But today I'm gonna do a mod I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And that is the Tahoe roof rack mod. So I personally love roof racks on trucks. I think it looks so good. So I've been trying to do this for a very long time, and I'm happy to finally get this done. Alright, so I just threw this up on the roof. You can kind of get an idea of where you're going to need to cut it. But I wanted to point out, you got a shorter end cap and a longer end cap. I find if you put the longer end cap at the rear of the truck, you can fit more length on it than if you flipped it around the other way. These end caps just pop off. What I do is I just place it right on the roof. Let me just push this back a little bit. I will give you the measurements I cut it at, but if you have a quad cab, it's going to be different. So I find it easier just to place this where it's going to sit level. Same with the front. Make sure it sits nice and tight against the roof. And you can kind of make your cut right about here. And for the extended cab, it's going to be probably 32 inches. I am going to cut it at 33. I've already marked it out. Alright, just to go over what you're going to need. The first thing, of course, is the threaded rivet gun. This was just from Harbor Freight. It comes with a few ends for different sized threaded rivets. They're also called Nutserts. I don't know what their proper name is. But I picked up a pack of these off Amazon with screws to match. And these screws have the Torx style head on them, because a normal bolt, your socket won't fit through the rail on your roof rack. I also have waterproof caulking, tape measure, pen, and a couple power tools. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is take off all your end caps. I took those off already, so I don't need to. But take the end caps off and get your measurement. I got out to 33 inches. Same on both sides. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it and test fit it. Alright, so what you want to do is take your end cap, just slide it on until it comes to a stop. Just take a marker, mark out your hole. Make sure our screw fits through, and it does, so perfect. Alright, just a quick test fit, and that honestly looks like the perfect length. 33 inches. And everything should line up perfectly. That looks so good. Very excited. That honestly is such a perfect fit. But now comes the scary part. Drilling right through my roof. Alright, so now that I have the roof rack lined up and measured so it's even on both sides, I have taped it down so it doesn't shift. I'm going to use a center punch and mark out each of these holes. Alright, so instead of using a center point, I ended up shooting a little spray paint down the hole after everything was lined up. This way it's a little easier. Where the paint is, I'm going to be drilling out anyway. And the paint on the roof rack, well, I plan on painting the roof rack anyway, just because it's really rough. So what I'm going to do is just one at a time, drill them out, realign the rack, and make sure everything stays lined up the entire way, and hope for the best. Alright, so once you've got your hole drilled, you're going to want to thread on your riv nut here all the way. Put it in the hole and crank down on it. And you're going to want to just tighten this up a little bit. Do it again. And make sure it's nice and tight. I'm wiggling it and the rev nut is not moving. So just thread it out. And now you have something you can just thread a bolt into. Couldn't be easier. So I forgot to put silicone in the hole first, so hopefully it doesn't leak. I am going to put some on the outside just to try to help seal that up. I'm not going for pretty here because you're never going to see it. I care more about if it's going to leak or not. Alright, so I got all my holes drilled, all 8 of them, and I got caulking in all 8 to keep it waterproof. So now all I have to do is fill each hole with caulk. Alright, it is done. Everything worked out so well, everything lined up. Everything looks so good. I did end up having to buy different screws because the ones that I bought, which are linked in the description, were not long enough. So I will post in the description the size that I ended up going with, which were perfect. A little longer than they needed to be, but it's not like anything is poking through the ceiling, so everything was good. I also cut that length down to 32 inches from 33. I just felt it was a little too long, and I think this works so much better. So all I have to do is clean it up and someday give it a coat of paint, and it'll look nice. So hopefully, if this was something you were going to do, this helped. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.